In this video today, we will see how to create a professional looking invoice for your company in Excel. So I have opened an Excel worksheet and this is the margin. This will be the size of the Excel sheet from here until here. So what I will do is I will write the name of the company. For example, let it be ABC company. Now if I want to include a phone number, let me click here and let me go to insert symbol and let me include the symbol of phone number, and then let me close and then write the phone number. So if I want to include email, and then you can write the address. So this is the company name and the address. Now if I want to include a logo, what I will do is I will click here, I will go to insert picture, this device. I have downloaded a picture. Let this be my logo. Let me make it small. Okay, now let me just write here invoice and invoice number. If I want to include time and date, what I will do is I will write time in this cell, and in this next cell what I will do is equals to, now I will type this function is equal to now bracket open bracket close and enter. So this will include the date and time from the system. That means every day the date and time will be included here according to this system time. After that, bill to, and then just let me create a space so that I can write the name of the company or the person to whom I'm giving the invoice, and then here I can write the address of the company or the person. Now after this, what I will do is I will create a table here for the invoice, serial number, particulars will be the name of the items that I will sell, unit price, then quantity, and then price. Now if you see that this column has gone outside of the margin, so what I will do is I will just decrease the size of this column so that everything can include in one, so that everything gets included inside this margin. Now you can see this is inside the margin. After that, let me just make a table. Suppose until here, go to this home tab, click on this arrow here and all borders. Let me make this bold and at the center. So here also let me make this one. For this invoice also let me select these two columns, merge and center, so that it will be at the center, bold, and then I can increase the size of this invoice. After that, total price here, and if there is any tax such as VAT, I can include here, for example 13%. So here price after VAT, and if there is any discount you can write here discount 5%, then net price, that is after the discount. Here let me mention the mode of payment, then amount received, due if any, and on this side received by, and then signature. Now if you notice that this text and this column is outside the margin. So what I will do is I will just decrease the size of this unit price column, decrease the size of quantity, and you can see everything is inside. Let this particular column be little bit bigger, and here also what I can do is this is outside of the margin, so I will just select 2 or 3 rows and let me delete so that everything gets adjusted. Now here in this particular column you will include the items that you want to sell. Now there are 2 ways you can include the items here. The first way is you will type the name of the items manually, and the other way is you can create a drop down list for the items here. For example, I will go to page number 2, and here I will write the name of the items which I want to sell, like hard disk 1 terabyte, hard disk 2 terabyte, RAM 8 gigabyte, RAM 16 gigabyte, keyboard. So in this way you can write the name of all the items that you want to sell. Now let me go to the sheet number 1 and let me select all this table. Go to data, go to data validation, and have to select this option, data validation. After that, in this settings tab there is one option here, allow select list. Now click on this source box, go to sheet 2, and this will be the source, and then OK. So what this does is if I click on this button here, I can select the list of the items that I sell. So it will be easier for you to choose the items from the list instead of typing it manually. For example, serial number 1, suppose hard disk 1 terabyte. Let us say the unit price is 15,000, quantity I bought 3. Now here you want to include a formula. So this price will be the multiplication of this unit price and the number of quantity. So equals to, click on this unit price asterisk quantity and then enter. So this will be the formula. Now if you want, what you can do is you can include the same formula in all of these boxes here. So once you have clicked on this cell, if you take your mouse pointer and point it at the corner here, you can see the icon has changed. Now you have to press the mouse button and drag it down. Similarly, let me go to let me sell another item here, RAM 16 GB. Suppose it's 6,000, and if I sold 2 pieces and then if I press enter, you can see the price is automatically calculated since there is formula in these cell. Now total price, you have to add all of these ones and it will be total price. So there is a formula for this one, equals to sum bracket open, and then just press the mouse button and then drag all the cells, close the bracket and then enter. So this will give the total price. Or else the other way is select all the cell until this total price, go to home, and if you see there is auto sum, click here, you can see the total price. Now suppose if there is 13% VAT on this one, then how you will calculate? You will at first start the formula by putting equals to sign, 13%, so 13 into total price divided by 100. So this will give the 13% VAT for this price, and then enter. So the price after VAT will be equals to total price plus VAT. So this will be the total price now. And suppose if I give 5% discount, then let us see how to calculate discount. Equals to 5 into and the discount will be given on this price divided by 100. So this is the discounted price. Now the net price after discount is this price minus the discounted price. So this will be the net price. Now suppose let me include another item here, keyboard. If the price is 3000 rupees and if I sell 10, now you can see automatically everything is calculated. Now this mode of payment can be cash, it can be card, or it can be check. So what we will do here is, either here also you can just type cash, check, or card, or TT, whatever you want, or else similar to this drop down list which is created here, you can also create a drop down list here. Let me again go to sheet number 2 and let me enter the mode of payments, cash, card, check, TT, etc. And let me go to this one. So in this cell I'm going to include the mode of payment. So I have to select this cell, then I will go to data validation, and under settings in this box I will select list. I will click on this source box. The source is in sheet number 2 and this is the source. I will select it. Okay. Now if I go here, I can select the source of payment or mode of payment. Now here under amount received, if the person pays the total amount, then you can include the same total amount here. But if the person does not pay the whole amount, then let us see what happens. So if the person only pays 80,000, then there is due left. So if the person only pays 80,000, that means there is due left. So in order to calculate the due, what we will do is we will use a formula. We have to start it by using equals to, and this is the amount paid by the person or the company minus this was the total amount to be paid. So this is the due. Now if you want to make this more visible, then you can apply a formatting here. So select this cell, go to this home tab and go to this option conditional formatting. Select this option highlight cell rules and select this option text that contains and minus, and from here you can select what happens if the text contains minus. Red text, red border, custom format, yellow filled with dark yellow. For me I will select light red filled with dark red text and then OK. So if there is any due, it will be in minus, and if it is minus, you can see this kind of formatting. Now let us see what happens if there is no advance. So if the person, for example, paid this whole amount, then let us see what happens. Now in this case you can see there is no formatting, because the formatting of the cell only occurs if the text will be in minus or if there is any due. Now here there is one more thing that you can do. In this invoice number, if you want the invoice number to generate automatically, then what you can do is you can click on this cell, go to this developer tab. If you don't find this developer tab, what you do is go to this file, go to option, go to customize ribbon, and you will see this developer tab. So if there is no developer tab, you have to select this box, OK, and then you will see the developer tab here. So what I will do, I will click in this cell, I will go to developer tab. Now I will click on this button, record macro. I will give a macro name, invoice number, and I will give a shortcut key, Ctrl+N or something, whatever you want. And then in the description I can write this will generate a new invoice number, OK, and then stop recording macro. Now after that I will click on this macros, then I will select this macro name and then edit. At the end, just before this end sub, I have to include one formula here. So range, open bracket, then this inverted comma. Then what I will do is I will go here and I will see which is the cell where I have to include the invoice number. This is B7. So I will go here and then B7, close the inverted comma, close the box, dot value equals to, again range, again open the inverted comma, again I have to include the cell number here, which is B7, where I have to include the invoice number. Close the inverted comma, close the bracket, and then dot value plus 1. So what does this do is, if I put invoice number 1 and then if I have to generate another invoice, then what happens is, in this value there will be 1 added. That means if the value is 1, 1 plus 1 2, if the value is 2, 2 plus 1 3. So after I have created this macro, what I will do, I will click on this save button, and then I have to save this Excel sheet where there is invoice, and I have to save it in Excel macro enabled. So I will select it, and then let me give this file name as invoice, and then save. Now let me go to this one, let me close this one, and this is the invoice. Let me close it again and let me open it. You have to select this option, enable content, to run the macro. Now here this was the receipt. I can go here, I can select item which I want to sell, I can include the quantity, and everything will be calculated. Now one thing you have to remember here, you should not delete this quantity from here. You have to only delete these things, because if you delete here, then what happens is all the formula will be deleted. You can delete this amount received from here, and if I again select here, and you can see everything will be calculated. Here amount received, net price is 12,882. If I put here 13,000, you can see, since this is advance payment, so there won't be any minus. But if I only include here 12,000, and it will show minus, because this is due amount. And here invoice number, if I start 1 for example, let me make it bold, and if I press Ctrl and N, you can see the invoice number is changed to 2, and then I can start a new invoice here, delete this amount. If I again press Ctrl and N, you can see the invoice number is changed into 3. So this was, now this is possible because we had created a macro and we had used a shortcut key Ctrl N. So whenever we press Ctrl N, the invoice number goes on changing. So this is how you can create a professional invoice in Excel. If you want, you can do more formatting as your wish. You can make it red, whatever you want. And then let me go to file, and if I go to print, you can see this is how the invoice will look.